Okay, welcome back. So now let's talk a little bit more about lighting. Now we've already gotten some sense of lighting just from the fact that we have been tracing our highlights, our midtones, and our shadows. But let's go in and actually add a little bit more sense of shadow by using gradients. So one of the best ways to do this, is my mouth, is particularly in the eyes. So for instance, with these eyes, usually as we go a little bit further off to the end, especially as we get older, such as myself, we get a little bit of red. So I could put a flat red in there, but let's play a little bit with gradients. Once again, this is not something that you have to do. You go with a flatter look, but a lot of people I think tend to like a little bit of gradation. Even if it's just in the eyes, it can add a nice effect to it. So let's go in and do this. So I'm just going to select this, then I'm going to go over with my gradient selected. That's not what we want, obviously. We probably want just a little bit of gray there. We're going to make this circular. And then right at the end, we usually get a little bit of a maroonish kind of color. So we'll pick that. Maybe go a little bit more towards the reddish maroon kind of area there. All right, that looks horrifying, but we can fix this obviously. So let's go over, use our gradient tool, and then we're just going to, actually we want it a little bit more kind of in the circular aspect. So we're just getting a little bit of that red there. Whoops. And then if we just bring it down just a little bit, maybe even just a little bit more. Just a little bit of the red. So we're just getting a little bit of that, mainly white. You can see how that kind of gives us a little bit more of a sense of depth there. And we can also just drag, since that's going to be our basic idea, over here and do the same thing, hitting G for our gradient, making sure that we have this one selected, then G for our gradient. And then same thing, I'm just going to kind of drag out here, bring it in just a little bit so we can get a little bit of that input the eye. So it's just a little bit, and you might not want to do that, but just to kind of give you an idea. Now, same thing here. We can do this with our eyes, and I think, like I said, I think the iris is really nice for this. So we'll do a similar thing. It looks scary now, but let's change these colors. So we'll do kind of a nice light blue color. And then we'll go over. Actually, what I'll do is bring that over there. Now if I double click on this, I can kind of bring it in a little bit more to a darker blue. And then same thing we're going to do here. We're going to press G for our gradient. Oh, that's selected. And then with that selected here, we're really going to push it so that there's just that little kind of dip there within it. All right, same thing over here. Click on that, G. Pupil is going to be completely black, so that's fine. Now, another thing we can do to just give this a little bit more fun is I can use this circle here, and I'm just going to, whoops, make myself into the Joker. If I just make a little circle here, and this is why I should have those turned off. Need to make sure that I'm on my eyes layer. There we go. I want that to be completely white and white. There we go. And then if I go into my opacity and bring this down just a little bit, you guys will see I've got like a little, so scary. Just this little kind of highlight that you can see a lot of times in the eyes. It gives it a little bit of life. It's really nice. Move this out of the way. And same thing, just click on that, hold down Option, and I can bring it over here as well. All right, so that kind of gives you a nicer sense of the eyes that way. You can see how they kind of pop out. Everything else is flat, but I could go in and do a bunch of other things, which I will in the next section. In the next section, we'll just talk about, we'll kind of finalize this up with just a few more gradients just to make it look nice, and we'll talk about what I did. All right, almost there, guys.